what us humans have lost, like humans were designed to spend 85% of their time outside.
Right.
What is happening these days, Jonathan?
85% of the time we're inside.
We're inside.
On the phone, scrolling on social media, watching Netflix shows. Well, most of the people, not me.
Yes, not us. Not us.
Not the 1%.
Yes, not the 1%. But yes, 99% of people spend most of their time inside now.
Yeah.
Also, what do we have always on our feet? Shoes.
Yep.
Right? Well, shoes is a conductor. It actually ends up blocking the magnetic charges to go through our body. So back in our day, where we come from, right?
Yeah.
We used to not have shoes. We used to have bare feet.
Right.
So
you're grounded.
You're grounded to Mother Earth. You're connected, right? So Earth itself is a big magnetic field. We all know this, that Earth is a big magnetic field. So what earthing does is you actually end up connecting with the surface of Earth with your bare feet. It doesn't have to be your feet. You can put your hands on the surface of Earth. But what that does is that actually discharges negative electrons into the Earth, and the health benefits from it is it actually helps out with chronic inflammation.
Yep.
It improves your sleep. It also balances your cortisol levels in your body.
It does. Okay, welcome to the Limitless CEO Podcast. Today we have a special guest, Pat Gatz. He's a great guy. I met him at the Inner Circle. He has a brand that is a great brand. It's called Hunting for Greatness. And he's going to be telling us a little bit about his story, his mission, his purpose. And yeah, man, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Man. I appreciate you driving all the way from Canada.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't drive today, huh?
No. Last time I did drive, and it took me 38 hours to end up getting here. But this time I flew. I went to Driven Business Summit, and I met Jonathan here and at Albert's Driven Mastermind, and he's a great guy. I love what you're doing with your business and everything. And yes, I'm also known by many people know me as Chief Little Ego. On there. I'm actually on the journey of becoming the youngest chief of my reservation. So I'm from Ontario. My reservation is Quebec First Nation. Yep. I'm Algonquin native. And my native name, if you're wondering, that's where Little Ego comes from, is from my indigenous culture. So Hunting for Greatness, the native ways, my mission, what we do is trying to reconnect humans back to Mother Nature and sharing our heritage and culture with them, so with the world. So as you know, nowadays, a lot of land's getting developed. There's a lot of technology, and we're actually losing our true ways from the basics where we came from. So what I want to try to do is actually share that with the world and help people come back down to our human basic needs and start getting back to what we need to do as a human culture, which is unite and become one and start helping as many people as you can. And so a little bit about the indigenous culture in North America. There's about 8 million indigenous in North America. There's a lot of people. Yes, there's about 1.4 to 2 million in Canada, and then about 6 million in the U.S. In the U.S. alone, there's 574 different tribes, indigenous tribes in the U.S., and in Ontario, which is a province that I come from, there's about 118 different reservations there. So one of the biggest problems nowadays, John, is that, and this is with many cultures, is alcohol, drugs.
Yes.
And
especially in LA, downtown.
Yes. Actually, I actually talked with a gentleman actually on the way here. And he told me right now in LA alone, there's 55,000 homeless people in just LA.
Yeah. No, and I believe it. Right here in downtown, just itself, like around the corner, you see like all this homeless with their tents.
Yeah.
Just living on the streets. Why? Because the main reason, alcohol, drugs, and addiction.
Yeah. And like another problem is our government and that is not taking care of our people. Like, why are we letting foreigners and more immigrants coming into our country when we can't even take care of our own people?
Right. What's going on?
So the mission I've seen, it's same with our indigenous culture in Canada, is they don't have enough direction and they're being influenced by the wrong things. So with me going as becoming chief of my reservation, and my reservation is called Quebec First Nation. It's actually on the border of Quebec and Ontario.
Impressive.
And right now in Ontario, there's about 11,000 Algonquin natives. So my mission is to actually become chief of all chiefs. So I wanted to have where the indigenous can actually look up to somebody and that I can set a role model that can help my people and change the community into a better place. So
you're going to become the chiefs of the chiefs.
Yes.
Wow. So you're going to become something that it hasn't been done.
Has never been done.
Wow.
So one of the big problems, and you probably know this from your Latino background, Jonathan, is that a lot of our culture is separated. We're not united, right? And we don't help each other out on there. And so this is the biggest problem with our world nowadays is we're not standing together. We're not uniting. And one big problem is our government is actually destroying this, and we need to stand up. Or if we don't stand up, we're going to lose all of our rights. And this is like a mission of mine, is to unite everyone together. And so my first step is to actually become chief of my reservation. And I'm going to be the youngest one. I'm actually only 39 years old.
Only 39? Wow.
Yes.
I was going to tell you, you're like 32 or something. How do you maintain yourself so like clean looking?
Yeah, so I focus a lot on personal development. That's how I actually met Jonathan, because he focuses a lot on personal development too with it. And that's in the mastermind, Albert's mastermind, Jervin mastermind. But I focus a lot on health. As we were talking earlier here, me and Jonathan, and we're both big in working out and taking time for ourselves first thing in the day, in the morning, and that, which is very important for your personal development. Like 100%. It's number one important for it. So every day, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I actually do 600 crunches.
600 crunches?
Yes.
Damn.
Now, it took me a while to get up to that stage.
Just to think about doing 600 crunches. I'm good with push-ups, bench press, but crunches,
Yeah, so it actually, like when I started off, and this started about 3 years ago when I actually got big into this. And it's actually a scientific fact. Every human, when they wake up in the morning, right, you don't have blood flowing in your oxygen. So that's why it's important to actually go to the gym or get active in the morning, is to get the blood flowing. And so I just took it to a next level. I actually hired a personal coach, which many people are well aware of, Wes Watson.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm actually...
Intensive.
Yes, he's a very intensive guy, if you guys know him on social media. But he's the one that actually got me onto the morning routine of actually getting very active first thing in the morning. So I don't get up as early as him. He's actually 2:25 kind of.
2:25, wow.
Yeah, every day.
I thought I wake up early. I wake up at like 4 a.m.
Hey, that's exactly, Jonathan, that's exactly the time I wake up, is 4 a.m. on it. And I do my little ritual where, like I said, as soon as I open my eyes, I got this little playlist. It's about 18 minutes long. And it's just about affirmations, some motivation sayings and stuff. So I listen to that while I do my crunches. And the main thing is just to get your mind into a positive mindset, and then also get the blood flowing into your system. So it's not an intense workout. It's not too crazy. It's just you do it right there when you wake up in your bed, get the blood flowing. Then I get up and then I head to the gym and then I do my workout. Whatever.
So that's not your workout. A lot of people might be thinking like 600 crunches. That's just a warm up. Yeah, and nothing major.
And that's, my friends, is the difference from us 1%ers and successful people. And I got to say, entrepreneurship, what we do, the difference between us than the average, right? It's being focused on the right things and getting going, never stopping, right? And doing the proper things that is healthy for your body. So yeah, I start off with that little warm up, get my blood going, get myself in a good mindset. Then I go to the gym. I work out for about an hour at the gym. And then I start my day. And then
do you have a special workout that you do? Like, do you do focus on resistance, cardio?
I like to keep it traditional. So as me being native, right? I like to stick to just free weights and body weight workouts.
Those are the best,
Yes, on it. My theory is for hundreds of years, humans never had equipment, never had all this stuff. So they were in great shape. Actually, they were in better shape back then. Like, you look at the gladiators, even the soldiers, all shredded.
Low percentage,
and they
fat.
never had no equipment or anything, right?
Yeah,
so that's my mindset on this. So like I do chin-ups, push-ups, squats, and then just free weights. That's all I do. The only cable machine I actually do is flies for my chest, but that's just to get
the upper chest.
Little workout on the chest there. But other than that, I keep it basic, man. Keep it simple. Like, you don't need to complicate things.
Simple works.
There. Yes, simple does work. And then also what I do than a lot of other people is, a lot of people in the gym, they end up working like all different parts of bodies and stuff on it. I just isolate one thing at a day. So my actual schedule is Monday, I'll do shoulders. Tuesday, I do bis and tris. Wednesday, I do chest. To give my upper body rest, I end up doing legs on Thursday. Friday, I do squats. So it's a full body workout. And then Saturday, I do cardio. That's where I get in my cardio. And then that's the only day I don't really lift weights is cardio. Is Saturday. And then Sunday is I do an activity. So I like hiking or swimming and that on it. So I'll do that for my activity on Sunday. That is my workout.
You're very active.
Yes.
You're same as I do, but I do like Mondays I do legs because I want to like do an intense week. So I do legs. I go for like 2 hours. And I do the same thing. I spread out through the week. And I do a lot of supersets and giant sets just because it's crowded at the gym and I want to get it in, get it out in an hour. And that's basically, I do exactly the same thing as you do. But I got to start going to swimming and hiking. Because I used to do it before, but that's kind of nature.
And then, good. I just try to break it up so that you don't feel like you're just doing the same stuff, right? And like you are working different body parts when you are doing those other activities. And like, those are activities you can actually do with your family and stuff with it too, right? It's not just something you can have to go do with yourself. And like the crowding part, I don't know when you tend to go to the gym on it, but I go first thing in the morning because I find so my gym opens up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I make sure I get there at 5 and until I would say about 7 o'clock or so, that's when people start rolling in. But earlier in the morning, there's not much activity, man.
That's why I have a 24-hour fitness because I'm able to like, if I'm up at 3:45, I'm there at 4:30. Like you said, all the machines are open, the weights are open. I come in, do my workout, and I go to the steam room for like 15, 20 minutes. And then that's like my payday right there. Like I did my workout, and I could go to my steam room, relax, sweat it out. I start my day fresh. When everybody's coming in, I'm rolling out. You know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the way to do it, John.
Yeah.
And that's awesome that you mentioned the steam room. That's something I do all the time
Yeah.
after that's actually what I look forward to after my workout.
Yeah.
You end up having a good workout, then you go in the steam room, man, and that just finishes you off, wakes you right up. And I actually do if I go to the gym and I feel motivated, I'll actually even do some crunches while I'm sitting in the steam room.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
You take it a level notch.
Oh yeah, just push it, man. Like that's
you're pushing yourself to the limits,
right?
You're limitless.
It is limitless, man. So yeah, and I find I've been doing this like routine for a very long time, and like now I cannot not work out.
Yeah.
Like I cannot do like even the crunches now.
Yeah.
I never like don't get me wrong, friends out there. I never just started off with 600, so just don't think like
that's number 600.
Yeah. It's taken me time to get up. Like I literally started, I think it was 50 was the number
50.
I tried. Yeah, 50, and then I kept every year or every few months just keep increasing win it, right? Because as you can tell, even when you're at the gym, you find now, like after a while, you go to the gym, you can actually put more intense of a workout in, right? And you can do more. You can lift more. You're getting stronger. You're getting faster. You're getting more flexible, right?
Yep.
It's over time. It's building. It's just like business, right, Jonathan?
Yeah.
It's you always go to these masterminds, and a lot of people get mixed up thinking that, oh, I got to make $1 million, or I got to make $10 million. I got to do this right here. But you don't realize, and you can speak on this, that you don't see the years and the time and the work that was put in prior to you to get to the level you're at, right?
Exactly. It's like you're saying, you got to stack all those small little wins, because people want to go to the big win. They want to take the easy route. You want to take the hard route, enjoy the process, do all these little wins, and then those little wins are going to create a momentum. And that momentum, you're going to start creating velocity. You're going to start going and meeting all these people, and that's going to get you to the next level, and then creating these opportunities. Because if you're preparing, you have that momentum, then it's kind of easy to like use leverage and continue going. Because if you're just stopped and you're trying to get all these opportunities, like you don't know what to do because you don't have any momentum. So it's important to like not focus on the big win, but focus also on the small little wins, and that will take you to the next level as well.
Yes, yeah. And that's why too, that's how working out first thing in the morning, those are those little wins you're talking about, Jonathan.
Yeah, because you're winning in the morning, so now you're winning all day. You're creating that momentum. And I was going to say something about what you said about like, you have to work out in the morning, because I was reading this book from David Goggins. Yeah. Can't Hurt Me. Yeah. I don't know if you read it, but he was saying the exact same thing that you were saying, that you have to work out in the morning. And then it gets to the point that if you don't work out, you're like, fuck, I didn't work out. I have to work out on a daily basis. Right. Because then you're not feeling it. Like you don't feel well. Yeah. So when you get to that point, that means that you're doing something right. Yes. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. No. And then also it becomes an addiction. It's to me
a good addiction.
Yes. A positive addiction. And that's another thing I want to let everybody know out there is, with me becoming the youngest chief, Jonathan, I don't drink alcohol. I don't do any drugs. I don't party. And then this is the difference about where you're going to be in later in life. It's those little sacrifices that you do that's going to make you succeed and end up achieving great things. So,
going back to the to how you're going to become the chief of the chiefs. Yeah. You're going to be the youngest chiefs, natives. Yeah. Because you're only 39. Yes. What other steps are you going to also do in order to become the youngest chief native for your people?
So it's starting off first with my reservation. Yeah. So my reservation is about 500 Algonquin natives. Okay. And that's going to be my first start of actually getting the title of becoming chief of that reservation. So the next election, I will be chief of Quebecois First Nation. Jeez. And Once it starts from there, with my company, I'm building a big personal brand. Actually, this is how I met Jonathan and a lot of other amazing people is here in California in the United States. Why I come to the United States is because this is where the smart people and the great people are, man. In Canada, there's not as many people. Like the population is dramatically different. Like the whole population of Canada is 38 million people.
Wow.
For the size of the country, there's only 38 million people. You got states here that have more than 38
just
million.
one state. Just California itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you have that much more people, you have a lot more like-minded individuals. And that is the main reason why it has attracted me to come to California. And one of my mentors and yours that I've seen go into the master group is Albert Preciado from Driven.
Shout out to Albert Preciado.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. And I've learned so much from that man. He's a very smart gentleman. He knows his business and that. And this is how I network and meet some more individuals that are doing some great things. And so building this brand, I'm Hunting for Greatness, the Native Ways. I am trying to promote and try to help all indigenous of North America. So as I was saying earlier, there's 8 million indigenous between Canada and United States. And my main goal is to start off as my reservation as chief and then become a representative of all the different individual tribes of North America. So nobody's done this before. There's not a representative that has ever represented all indigenous and being chief of all chiefs. But I'm telling you, Pat Gatz is going to do it.
Yeah, he's going to do it. And let me ask you, that's a big commitment. What comes with being the chiefs of the chiefs? What kind of responsibilities?
So the responsibilities is going to be able to take care of all the indigenous people, all the different communities, and end up building them and giving them hope of a better way of life instead of right now being in where there's a lot of poverty happening. There is actually not a role model for them actually to be out there, to be honest with you, Jonathan. Even right now, there's a lot of corruption happening in the individual reservations. And for example, my reservation right now, the chiefs, the band councils, there's corruption happening. And it's just like our government. There's
I thought this was only in Mexico.
No.
It's happening everywhere, right?
It's happening all over the world, right?
That's crazy.
And so we need people that are going to stand up and that's going to make a difference and help our people. Just like what you're doing with your companies here, Jonathan. Like, he's helping his Latino culture and his people and providing a way better life for them, which is amazing. And that's why we need more people like that to stand up. So that's what I'm doing with my people is trying to give them hope, trying to give them a new direction in life and setting that example. So I've sacrificed a lot to commit and become to the level I'm working on right now. And everything throughout my life, I've built up to this stage. So to get me to this level, I've actually been a municipal firefighter for...
Wow, really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you were a firefighter?
Yes, for 13 years on it. And I've helped people in that way. But when the pandemic happened in 2021, I was running a construction company for 13 years. And when the pandemic happened, just like many other people, I went bankrupt, man. I had to shut down my company. And I've always been a hands-on kind of guy in the construction world. And when the pandemic happened, all I had was firefighting after that. And we tend to have a pretty flexible schedule firefighting. So we do other jobs. So when I had to shut down my construction company, that's what made me get on the online world.
Right.
And then I started online, and let me tell you, that's a whole new adventure. And
different level.
Yeah. But I tell you, man, growing up doing construction, all the hard work, man, out there, when you're online, man, that's easy. Oh, yeah.
Just press play, you're good. Yeah.
The only thing that gets tired now is my fingers and my eyeballs, right? So, it's a whole different ball game. And like, what you can achieve online, man, is so much more than grinding out there and putting in the hard work, doing construction. And so from my reservation, not even that, I was a firefighter. I've written 3 books.
You have? Wow.
Yeah, they're published on Amazon.com. And it's all about my indigenous culture. And I also right now have a book that I actually did with my 10-year-old daughter. It's called Dreamy the Dream.
You're a father as well.
Yes. I actually have 3 daughters.
3 daughters, one boy?
No, I actually the whole reason I got 3 daughters was because I tried to have a boy, but it's not in my stars, man.
So you're not gonna try for more?
No. Let me tell you, 3 daughters is a handful. So.
Tell me about it. I have 3 daughters as well. 3 daughters, 1 son.
So you know exactly.
Yeah, no, and I wanted to continue trying, but you know what? I think it's a little bit too much. And then my wife's like, 1 more. No, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. Like I had the boy, and then I had 3 girls right after. I couldn't make another one, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of commitment, a lot of activities. It is. But I mean,
So I have 3 daughters, and it's enough for me. And like with being chief of the indigenous people and the community, I have a lot of responsibilities, and to me, they're all my children. If you look on the bigger picture, right?
Yes.
So so my 10-year-old daughter, so I have a 10-year-old daughter, and then twin girls that are 7 years old. So
that's amazing.
My 10-year-old daughter came up with the idea of Dreamy the Dream Warrior, and what it's about is the true meaning about a dream catcher. And I also put, how I designed the book was I put Algonquin basic language with the English word after it, so that adults reading it to their children will actually learn the Algonquin language, right? And they can pass it on. So this is the latest book I have going on. It actually goes live on Amazon August.
What is it called?
Dreamy the Dream Warrior and Mont's the Moose.
Dreamy the Dream Warrior?
Yeah, and Mont's the Moose, which Mont stands for moose in Algonquin language. And it's how to practice good bedtime habits. So what it is dictated to is it shows children the proper ways, healthy habits to have to go to bed in that for it. So I'm trying to promote to the younger generation good habits, what they need to learn to end up growing into good individuals and to have the best life for it. So as you know, our children are our future. Yeah. So that's who we should be investing into, right? Exactly. And so that's why I designed.
And this is you don't learn this in school, right? So that's why you created these books as well.
Pardon?
You don't learn this in school, so that's why you created some of these books?
No, I actually bought a business course. So when the pandemic happened and I had to shut down my construction company, all you could do was online. Right. And so that's what made me, I'm the type A personality, which is action taker. I got to be doing something. I got to be keeping busy. I got to be making a difference, right? So I bought this business course that actually taught you how to publish books. Like at that time, because I come from the construction world, all I could do, Jonathan, was turn on the computer and end up surfing the web. That is it. Bought this program. 6 months later, I had my first book published on Amazon. Really? And I could actually learn and get around from the computer.
What is it called, that program?
It was AIA 2.0 was the program. And
AIA 2.0?
Yeah, AIA 2.0, and then it was the accelerator program. So it cost me about $14,000 for this program, but it taught me the basics of online and how to publish a book. So 6 months later, after taking that program,
You were an author.
yeah, I was an author. I had a book on. Now you look at 3 years later, I got 3 books online worldwide. They're actually almost 5-star rated. So they're actually, I got all good reviews on the book.
What is the third book called?
So my first book that came out was The Simple Hunting Guide. So what that is it actually teaches you all from start to finish. If you never knew anything about hunting and you wanted to go hunting, you get that book. By the time you read that book, it's a 30,000 word book, which isn't that big for you to know. It's only like that on there. You can actually, after reading that book, go out and start hunting right away. It teaches you everything, because growing up in the indigenous world, we do a lot of hunting in that. But what I found was you had to read like 5 to 8 different books to actually get the information you needed. So that's what made me design this book, was so that everything was all in one book.
Yeah.
The second book I have is called Eat My Meat, a beginner's field dressing guide. So 80% of people know how to hunt. It's easy to pull a trigger, hunt with a bow, right, for it. So 80% of people know how to hunt, but they don't know how to field dress. And I'm a true believer that you should know how to do everything from start to finish.
Right.
Like most people just go out, hunt, but they don't know how to do anything else. So I designed this book. It teaches you how to actually do the beginnings of field dressing from...
like fundamentals, the basics that nobody does.
Yeah, the basics. So like after reading that book there, you can actually go out hunting, and then you know how to take care of the animal once you end up...
not just kill the animal, but take care of the animal. And,
package it and have it so it's right on, ready for your table, right? And so... my third book, and this actually just came out in November. It's called The Ultimate Hunter's Wild Game Cookbook Guide. So it is the first cookbook that has over 200 and plus recipes of all wild game of North America.
Wow.
So, and then what I did was I designed it for males specifically, so that most males, except for some individuals, don't like cooking, right? And so when you hunt in that, you should be able to cook the meat also, not just field dress it and hunt it. So that's what I designed the book. The book is actually, every recipe has information about that animal. So I've made it so that every recipe, there's over 200 recipes that has nutritional facts, health benefits, information about that animal. So it's not just a cookbook. It's actually, you have to read that book from start to finish. And it's just recipes included on every single page with it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's the first.
So you like cooking?
Yes, I love cooking. I actually
in the wilderness, in the forest.
Yes, and that's actually what I'm trying to build right now for my big mastermind.
Are you able to like light up like fire with no matches or lighter?
Yes, I know the technique to end up doing it, but it does take longer.
With 2 rocks on it.
No, I use sticks, man. I use sticks. Yeah. So you actually, there's techniques you can actually use 2 sticks, rubbing together, and you can start a fire with 2 sticks. But rocks is the original way that started. So it's I try to stick as natural and traditional ways, which is providing your food from the wilderness. I know in the States, there's not many opportunities to go hunting and stuff. Like Canada still has quite a bit of land there. So you can still hunt. So this is what I'm trying to do with Hunting for Greatness, is I'm trying to be able to give everybody around the world the opportunity to come experience this way of life, the old tradition.
I want to try it. I'm gonna read your books, and then I'll reach out to you and say, okay, let's go hunting.
Yes, and what I'm trying to do, Jonathan, right now is I'm trying to buy a lodging resort that is on my reservation, and it's actually on Lake Kippawa. And this lodge actually hosts people there. It's got about 10 units in it.
Really?
So what I want to do is be able to have people fly into Canada, stay at this lodge, and then I can end up giving them the experience of either hunting or fishing, whatever they would like, and guide them. And so you get the true wild experience and experience Canada at its finest. So
It's going to be the hunting for greatness experience.
Yeah. And anybody who wants to come to Canada and experience that, that's what it's going to be there for. So, yeah, it's huge because as you know, the States, everything's getting developed. You don't really have much opportunities to actually be in touch with Mother Nature. So that's what I want to do. I want to give everybody the chance to be able to experience that. So
nice. So let's talk about the hunting for greatness. What is the whole purpose around it? Do you have like a mission statement on it?
Yes.
Some core values?
Yes.
How can people find you on hunting for greatness? Do you have something going already? Any books? We talk about the books, but any like where they can find you online? Any modules you have?
Yes. So Hunted for Greatness, the native ways. Our mission is to reconnect humans back to Mother Nature and share the heritage and culture with the world.
That's awesome.
That is our value on there. My books was my starting on it to promote the culture and everything. I do have merchandise. This is actually some of my clothing here. Mm-hmm. Another big thing with my company is actually, if you see this right here, friends, Every Child Matters. This is actually a non-profit or indigenous organization.
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
Have you heard of this?
I haven't.
No?
I haven't.
So it's big in Canada. It's a nonprofit organization. What this is funding for all Indigenous children. Well, it's not even just Indigenous, but that's where it started, was Indigenous. But this is where Every Child Matters. It's to end up investing into the children of our future and to help them out. So Hunting for Greatness, the Native Ways, donates 10% of my profits to Every Child Matters organization. So all my books, all my clothing, anything to deal with it, I am donating 10% of my profits to this organization.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I try to help out my reservation. That's my main thing. I'm started out is to help out my community. A lot of Indigenous and plus other cultures lives in poverty, and money is an issue on there. So I am trying to give back and help out as many of my people as possible. Mm-hmm. And so that's our main mission for Hunting for Greatness. And I'm also online. So my personal branding on all my social platforms is Chief Little Eagle. So that's so you can find me on Instagram at Chief Little Eagle. You can find me on Facebook at Chief Little Eagle, X, Chief Little Eagle. So that's where you can find me online. My website is www.chieflittleeagle.com. And everything is about bringing people back to the basics and giving them the chance to experience Mother Nature at its finest.
How do you come up with this name, Chief Little Eagle?
So Little Eagle is
Does it have a meaning behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Little Eagle is actually my given native name. So my father gave it to me when I was born because in the Indigenous culture, animals have a very important aspect to the heritage. And so, for example, eagle is actually, they're considered a messenger to our creator. So in the Indigenous culture, we don't have no specific where it's like a god or anything. It's called the creator. So all it is a supreme being, something that there's more out there.
Yes.
And it's not specific, right? And so the eagle is actually considered a messenger. So a scientific fact with the eagle is it actually flies the highest, it's the bird that flies the highest in the sky. So one of its defense measures is when another bird, you'll see little birds try to attack it on it. Instead of it fighting back, it just flies up to a higher elevation that the other birds can't fly to.
So he doesn't fight. He just flies up.
He just flies up. So he doesn't waste energy on things that he doesn't need to, right?
Yeah.
And so
because he knows they're stronger than any other flying.
Yeah, and he knows that as soon as he gets to a certain height, those birds are not going to be able to continue on. So the meaning in the Indigenous culture is that because the eagle can fly so high, it's supposed to entail that the eagle is actually a messenger, and it actually can speak to the creator, and it brings back the messages. So the scientific fact is actually, if you ever seen this, indigenous, where they have feathers and they're smudging, they call it smudging.
Right.
And they're running the feathers up and down their body. What they're doing is, because the eagle can fly so high, the eagle's feathers actually collect positive ions. And so us as humans being down on Earth actually have a lot of negative electrons and ions on us.
Right.
So the meaning behind this is, when you have an eagle feather, find a bald eagle feather, you rub the bald eagle feather all around your body, and what you're doing is you're removing all the negative ions and putting positive ions on your body.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this actually comes down to even another thing, which I don't know if you've heard of, earthing or grounding.
Grounding, yeah, grounding.
Okay. Well, earthing is similar to the same thing as grounding on there. And what us humans have lost, like, humans were designed to spend 85% of their time outside.
Right.
What is happening these days, Jonathan?
85% of the time we're inside.
We're inside.
On the phone, scrolling on social media, watching Netflix shows. Well, most of the people, not me.
Yes, not us. Not us. Not the 1%. Yes, not the 1%. But yes, 99% of people spend most of their time inside now.
Yeah.
Also, what do we have always on our feet? Shoes.
Yep.
Right? Well, shoes is a conductor. It actually ends up blocking the magnetic charges to go through our body. So back in our day, where we come from, right?
Yeah.
We used to not have shoes. We used to have bare feet.
Right.
So
you're grounded. Yeah.
You're grounded to Mother Earth. You're connected, right? So Earth itself is a big magnetic field. We all know this, that Earth is a big magnetic field.
Yeah.
So what earthing does is you actually end up connecting with the surface of Earth with your bare feet. It doesn't have to be your feet. You could put your hands on the surface of Earth. But what that does is that actually discharges negative electrons into the Earth. And the health benefits from it is it actually helps out with chronic inflammation.
Yep.
It improves your sleep. It also balances your cortisol levels in your body.
It does. That's so interesting, because I have a friend that he doesn't take off his shoes. He goes to sleep with shoes on. Yeah, like all the time. Like, that's not good, right?
No.
Like sleeping with shoes.
No,
that's not healthy.
Well, it's not good as it is, because we wear shoes most of the time, and when often, unless you're specifically going to go Earth and take off your shoes, or you're at a beach or something,
right?
You're not connecting to the Earth. You're not letting any negative electrons discharging. So we're not reducing anything in our body. We're holding everything in our body. That's why even too, when we go to the gym, you're actually putting oxygen in your blood. You're doing good for your health, right? So earthing is very important. So what I try to do is, while I'm working or something, if I'm outside, I try to take off my shoes, just plant my feet on the ground for 20.
So shoes and socks, everything.
Yeah. Just bare feet. And you just sit out, put your foot down on the ground.
But it has to be like on the concrete, not like on carpet or...
No. It has to be the earth, like the surface, right?
The surface.
With it. And then...
Can it be concrete or just like dirt?
It depends how thick your concrete is outside with it, but you're still getting some on it. But
grounding.
It's benefit to have it on dirt with it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be your feet. You could use your hands, right, and touch a tree or something like that. But you got to release it, and you got to have contact on bare surface, right? And 20-30 minutes a day, I guarantee you, Jonathan, it does a big difference in your body, and you will feel that difference after a while doing it. So I try to do this every day, 20-30 minutes. And
so would you say, if I usually go for walks at night after dinner?
Yeah.
So maybe going for a walk with no shoes to the park. And
exactly. Yeah. I actually, and you'll find...
I'm going to look kind of weird, because everybody in the neighborhood is with shoes.
Well, you want to see something weird, is I actually end up mowing my grass in bare feet. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Talk about weird on it. Yeah. I got actually video, like content on me, which I'll mow my grass in bare feet, man, on it. Like, it's not safe, folks. Let me tell you, with it, you should have protection doing that. But I'm a native, so I take things a little to the next level, to the extreme. But yeah, I do mow my grass in bare feet, and if I'm around my house or whatever, working and that, like outside, I try to always just not wear my. I just try to think whenever I don't need to wear my shoes, I try not to wear my shoes. Just take them off. For it. So that's a very important aspect on it. Is we're disconnected, man, and technology. We had about 4 years ago, Rogers, which is a telecommunications in Canada, ended up having, I think somebody hacked into the system, but they got shut down, right? And they're one of the leaders in the telecommunications. Well, let me tell you, the whole Canada who was on the Rogers system thought it was doomsday, man. Like, nobody knew what to do. They were all lost, man.
All over the place.
Yeah, so... It's we've lost our ways, man.
We did, like, even kids, like my kids, they can't live without Netflix. The phone, the tablet, they're always on their phone.
And
it's sad to say it, but I mean, it's the world that we're on.
Yeah. And I bet you it was different when you grew up. Like on myself, I spent most of my time outside, man.
There was no cell phone, there was no TV. I used to skate, do sports, water polo, anything that has to do with sports. That's why I'm very competitive. But like back in the days, there was no like electronics. There was like barely Wi-Fi. What was it? Beepers. Pagers. Pager. Yeah, that's what it was.
So it's a big different world. So this is what I'm trying to do, Jonathan. What Hunted for Greatness, the Native Way stands for.
I love it.
Is trying to bring people back, get them outside, get them doing things that is actually healthy for your system and that, right? And so my whole mission is to be able to share this with the world. Everybody, not just people in Canada, not just indigenous, to be able to come and experience this if they would like to come and feel what it's like.
It's amazing. So you're able to, like, let's say someone drop you off in the forest.
Yes.
And then you don't have any type of tools or anything. Are you able to like survive in the forest?
Yes.
Really?
And this is another thing that Hunted for Greatness is teaching online. So I actually do personal development coaching. And that's what it's about. It's about survival with your basic needs.
Right.
So I teach you that if you do get dropped off in the forest and you have nothing, you can actually survive there. And the other thing I try to, just to relate with the modern people, is that if technology was to shut down, if we were to go in World War III, and there is no technology in that, how are you going to protect your family? What are you going to do, right? So I try to teach the basics on if that ever happens. And there's a good chance, by the way our world's going nowadays.
You never know.
Something serious is going to happen, that you are able to teach protect your family. You are able to survive. So that's my main mission, is to try to make people understand that you need to know these basic survival techniques, and you need to be able to take care of your family if you don't have all these devices and everything to help you. So that's a very important mission of mine, is just to make people realize the true aspect of things, like what's going to happen if things do
hit the fan. Yeah. So you don't use any type of like guns and stuff like that. It's mainly like bow, like whatever it is, like knives.
No, so I do use firearms for certain animals. So I hunt all kinds of animals, small game, big game. So we're talking moose, bear, timber wolf, deer, wild boar, turkey. So I hunt everything, right? So you can only use certain weapons for certain animals. For example, timber wolves, you can't use bow with timber wolves. The reason with that is the closest you'll ever get to a timber wolf is maybe 200 yards, 300 yards. So with bow, if you're actually legit using compound bow, even crossbow, which is considered almost a firearm with that, you shouldn't be shooting over 80 yards to 100 yards.
Right.
So my preference with a compound bow is 60 yards. I will not shoot an animal past 60 yards. And my whole reason is about being ethical.
Right.
There's so many factors that can go wrong when you're hunting archery that if you're shooting over 60 yards, the chances of you actually killing that animal is reduced. Quite a bit. So my opinion is if you're going to actually shoot an animal, you want it to be as quick as possible.
Right.
And so this is why I do not shoot over 60 yards with a bow. And that's why certain animals, I do use firearms. Timber wolves, I actually use long rifle. 6.5 Creedmoor is actually my weapon of choice.
Right.
But because I'm indigenous, I try to stick to the true indigenous ways. So one of my videos I'm working on right now, Jonathan, is this fall. I actually had a custom spear made. I don't know if I brought it out in the inner circle. If you seen it at the inner circle, no?
No.
Or
maybe I missed it. But
I actually had a stainless steel custom spear.
You made it yourself?
I had somebody make it for me, but it's made out of stainless steel. And this fall, my plan is to catch this on video, but I am going to spear a bull moose with it, man. Okay. On it. So
it's going to be awesome.
So I'm trying to just bring the traditional ways into life on it. So I try to stick to using compound bow and spear, the ways that my people grew up and know, right? But I do use firearm for certain animals and that when I'm hunting, and I go all over the world to hunt. So
how often do you go hunting?
I hunt as much as I can.
Really?
So when I'm not doing business, John, I'm hunting.
You're hunting.
Out there, because I don't eat much foods from the grocery store. So the difference in Canada is there's wild life all over, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm not hunting big game or small game, I'm fishing. So I always have meat. So I kind of, depending on what time of year it is, I hunt certain things. And then when I hunt, I fill up my freezers and that, and then I have meat all year round. So for example, one bull moose weighs about anywhere from 800 to 1,000 pounds.
It's a lot of pounds, Yes. A lot of meat.
Yes, exactly. You nailed it right there. So when I field dress it, you get like 500 pounds of meat from a moose. So what I do is, because I hunt all different animals, I have tons of meat in my freezer. Right. So I don't need to go to the grocery stores and buy meat. And I have a way.
And that will last you how long? Like probably like a month or so?
Oh, no. Like one moose would last my family for the whole year.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can make out of moose steaks, hamburger, sausages.
It's
like
fresh.
You name it. It's fresh, right? And a tip that I'll tell all you guys out there what you should do, because I know most people, especially in the States, you have to go to the grocery store. Most people nowadays, they can't hunt like me. So
hell no. I'll die in the forest.
So a tip for you, Jonathan, is when you go in the grocery store and you have meat in a freezer, I don't know if you know how long it usually lasts for, but if you keep meat in a freezer from the grocery store, it probably
a couple weeks maybe.
If you want to have it in the freezer, you might get a couple months out of it before it starts getting they call it frostbite, I think, on your meat and it goes bad. What you do to make your meat last longer is the meat you buy from the grocery store is you take it out of the package.
Right.
You wrap it in saran wrap.
Okay.
Or other people might know it as plastic wrap. It's I call it saran wrap in Canada from it. So you wrap your meat in saran wrap, you take all the air out of it, and then you wrap it with butcher wrap paper. That there, if you put that in the freezer, that will last 1 to 2 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. So a hack is like whenever there's meat that goes on sale in the grocery stores for people that don't have much money out there, you go, you buy, you load up on all that meat, repackage it just like I told you how to do it with the saran wrap and the butcher wrap paper. And then you have meat that can last in your freezer 1 to 2 years.
Wow.
And it saves you money. Like nowadays.
That's a huge hack.
Yeah. In the grocery stores nowadays.
They usually sell like $1 a pound.
Yes.
When it's on sale.
Yes.
And then you can wrap it and
yes.
And just keep it on the freezer.
Yeah, because meat nowadays and all groceries, it's expensive, man. Like, I don't know about you, but like my 3 daughters on it, my bill, I'm like, holy man.
Man, I back in the days, I used to go to the market, to the groceries. It was with $100, I fill out the fridge for the whole week. Now it's like $800 for like 3 days.
Big change, right? And so people now that like, for us entrepreneurs running businesses on there, I don't know how most people are surviving, man. Like I'm just like, wow. And like I get most of my wild game myself in that.
Right.
And I'm still spending hundreds of dollars a week on groceries, like on just the basics, right? So I don't know how people are doing it. So you got to think of different ways to make your food last. And that's one big hack is get your meat on sale and then package it properly. It will last you a long time.
That's crazy.
So
crazy expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, inflation.
So that's my hunting side of things. And
any other business, not business, but any hunting tips you want to throw out there? Like anyone who want to get started on the hunting business, or not the hunting business, but the hunting journey.
Yes. My always start off.
So let's say for me, I don't know anything about hunting.
Yes,
I used to hunt before, like with my dad, but it was with the 3006. We never killed a deer or anything, but like someone that wants to get started in the wilderness type of thing that you do.
So first thing I would say is get my first book, The Simple Hunting Guide. That book teaches you how to actually hunt from start to finish. So whether you're from the city, whether you have hunted before or never hunted in your life on it, that book teaches you everything you need to know.
Right.
You're going to want to start off with small game. So I noticed in California, I talked with a few people that actually did some hunting on it, but it's like birds up here, like quail and like little stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good starting point to end up starting with. So start with some small animals, some birds. Back in Canada, we have like rabbits. Actually, a big thing here in the States that I found out was squirrel. Actually, a lot of Americans like squirrel.
Really? I didn't know that. Squirrels.
Well, that's how we were in Canada. We're like, when I found that out.
How do you kill a squirrel, though?
Well, a squirrel.
Is it with the slingshot or?
Well, you could actually
because they're super small, right?
Yeah,
so,
and to start off in the city because there's no regulations on a slingshot.
Right.
I would start with the slingshot, man. But you can kill squirrel with slingshots. But what I seen here in the States, like this is especially in Texas and stuff. On there is they use a 22 firearm. You could actually use bow and arrow too with it. There's actually different broadheads you can have for small game. Mm-hmm. So there's specific broadheads that you can use for squirrel. So you can use bow and arrow, slingshot. You can actually set up traps for them too. One common thing that the indigenous use is snares.
Snares. What are snares?
Snares is actually just a piece of wire that you end up putting in a slip loop so that you'll set it on a trail. So you'll find a trail wherever, let's say, we'll use squirrel, for example.
Yeah.
So you find a path that squirrels are always running across in that. And then you set up a snare, which is all it is a wire with a loop. And it's sitting around their travel path. Right. So what happens is as soon as that squirrel's running, it'll run into that loop, and that loop tightens around their neck. And then they're done. Yeah. It's they're stuck. So one of the big things that natives do is they use that for rabbits and that. So they'll set up a bunch of snares all around trails, right? And then you just check them every couple hours or so with them. And then the animal will get trapped into the snare.
Right.
It's actually got, I actually have a video I did it this year. I actually got bear snares.
Really?
So you can actually snag a bear with a snare.
Have you killed a bear before?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I've actually killed a few bears. I started off with firearms when I started hunting. And then when I got more into my native culture, that's where I picked up where you can do the same hunting with bow. So I'm very good with my bow. So last year I ended up getting a black bear with my bow, sitting in a ground blind. I've had a few crazy incidences with bears. Like I almost a couple years ago was attacked by a black bear. I was just sitting in a ground blind, and this black bear came up to me. He was like about 18 feet away from me, and all I had was my bow with me. And so if he decided to come and attack my ground blind, this native would not be here today.
Yeah.
So
what do you do then? You run? Or you fight them?
At that point there, brother, it's you're just defending for your life. Like they tell you gotta fake dead. That's
really?
On this, but I've never been in that situation, so I can't tell you if that technique works. But they tell you to fake dead, which means you go on your body and you protect your main organ, so your head and that. So you cover your hands over your head, bend down, and you just hope that bear's not going to bother you. Which, I don't know how many people that's been through that situation.
Are they fast or what? Like,
yes.
Really?
Yeah, they're really. It's actually surprising how fast they are.
Yeah, because they're big, no? Like,
Actually, to give you a little size on the black bears in Canada actually range from anywhere from 200 to 700 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah, and for that size there, you would think they're not that fast, but they can run anywhere from 40, 50 kilometers.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can't even run away?
No, there is no running from them.
Yeah.
No. And like they got huge claws on them too, eh?
Yeah.
Like their claws anywhere from 4 to 5 inches long, razor sharp.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's no running from them. But the most aggressive animal, I would say, like you would think bears are pretty aggressive, dangerous animals. They actually, most of them will run away, like with noise and that. Like they don't like humans. But the most craziest animal I've ever hunted was wild boar.
Wow.
In the United States, you have a lot of wild boar. Actually, in some states, they're actually invasive, and they're actually becoming a problem because of the damage they're doing and their population. So wild boar, instead of running away like most animals,
they don't run away.
No, they actually
you?
attack you. Wow. Yeah, on it. So a funny story was. Last November, I went to Corsica, France, which is an island off of France, and they have wild boar hunting there. Well, everybody there hunts with firearms because of how aggressive these wild boars are.
Yeah.
Well, it's about a 13-hour flight from Canada to get to Corsica, France. So you got to have a lot of regulations and licenses to bring firearms. Yeah. And because I specialize in bow and arrow, because I'm native, I'm bringing my bow, and I'm going to go hunt wild boar with my bow. Yeah. Well, I get down to Corsica, France, and I tell them I'm hunting wild boar with my bow. The French looked at me and they're like, "Are you crazy? Like, have you ever hunted wild boar? Like,
but you haven't?
No, that was my first time hunting wild boar. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty comfortable with my bow and arrow, man. I'm like, I'm good. Right. So I go out hunting. They couldn't believe I was actually going hunting with my bow. And I actually shot a 100-pound wild boar. Yeah. And it was like they said, man, the wild boar, it heard me. It started running, man, at me. And let me tell you, I got to be good with my bow. Yeah. So I just lined up on him. He's running directly at me. And about 40 yards, I released an arrow, shot him right in the head, right between the eyes.
And what would have happened if you missed?
If I missed, I would have got attacked by them.
Really?
Yeah. And
Pull out your knife or what?
well, that would be my next resort is pulling out my knife. But luckily, I didn't have to deal with that, and I got that wild boar. So I field dressed it, brought it back. The French could not believe I got that wild boar with my bow. They started nicknaming me the crazy Canadian, man. So that was an experience on it. I would say they're the craziest animals I've ever hunted was wild boar. And I hunt everything, and it's now I just try to do everything with my bow and arrow, with my spear. I'm trying to do these videos right now. I tried to actually spear a black bear this spring. Yeah. I couldn't get close enough to one, so hopefully next year I will get one. But that's my main goal is to end up spearing a bull moose. So I'm gonna try this fall to get that done. And I want to be able to share with other people who want to experience this hunting opportunity. So
that's amazing.
So that's the mission. Hunting for Greatness is trying to make a difference in people's lives, trying to change indigenous ways, trying to help out the community, and just make this world a better place, one step at a time. So
nice. How long do you think it's going to take you to become the chief of the chiefs?
Well, I am guaranteed. Chief of Chiefs. Obviously, I'm already.
That's like the big vision because I want to keep you accountable.
Yes,
I'm gonna be like, where are you at, Pat?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you. Each step I get with Chiefs, I'm gonna come and we're gonna do a podcast, John, and on each level. So that makes me be accountable. So to be chief of all chiefs, to be realistic. Let me see. The election for the chief of my reservation is going to be 2027. So that is 3 years for that. And I'm already building my personal brand and my worldwide. So if I can do that in 3, I'm going to say 6 years. 6 years from this, I'm going to be a high representative of chief of all chiefs.
There it is.
Yes.
Oh, I'm feeling the vibe.
6 years. So, I'm already building. I've already started working towards that. So, that's my goal, man. Great. I will make it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where is Hunting for Greatness going in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, I am hoping to build a big enough personal brand that doesn't matter which part of the country you are in the world, you will have heard of Chief Little Eagle and Pat Gatz. So I am trying to build a worldwide brand that everybody in the indigenous culture knows who I am, knows what Hunting for Greatness, the Native Way stands for, and what we represent. So I'm trying to unite all of our people. I'm trying to unite with the world. I'm trying to show everybody that it's possible, that if we stand together, we work together, we can achieve great things. So in the next 5 years, Hunting for Greatness, the Native Names, is going to be a well-known indigenous company. Worldwide.
Jeez. That was good. Hell yeah. Yeah. Do you want to throw out your any last remarks or comments on your brand? Throw out your branding out there, your slogan, your website again, so people can see it, and then we're gonna just throw in the links down there.
Yes. So you can find Hunting for Greatness, the Native Ways on my website, www.chieflittleeagle.com. You can find me on Instagram at Chief Little Eagle. And any other social platforms is Chief Little Eagle. And I am the one that contacts everybody. So if you message me, you're actually talking to me here. And I just want to let everybody out there know, especially if you are indigenous and native, that I am coming. I am going to represent all of our people. I will be chief of all chiefs. And you will know that you are taken care of from me. And so, Jonathan,
Yep.
Limitless CEO, thank you very much for having me on your podcast. You will see me again, and it will be on the next level because I got to be accountable now, John.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, everyone, for chiming in to the Limitless CEO podcast. And we'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.
Yes.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
Appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you for
buddy.
coming.
Yeah.
It was a great podcast. I love it. I think we just scratched the surface.